Hello, hello, Jeff Elvin here with Ballen Brands, and today I want to take a look at setting up a WordPress hosting account. One of the things we're doing a series here on how to set up your website, everything from registering domain name all the way through installing plugins. And part two here is basically once you have a domain name, we need to basically set up a website that we're going to be able to put together and add content to. So in order to have a website, we need to have website hosting in most cases. There are services such as website building services through GoDaddy, also some third-party platforms, kind of a build your own website. And a lot of times they kind of include all of that. So your hosting is part of the actual service that they're offering you. Maybe you're paying $100 a month or $50 a month for a website, and sometimes that hosting is part of that. In this case, we're showing you how to set up a WordPress website in which you need the different elements. And so in our case here, we are recommending you, again, register a domain name, then you're going to set up your own hosting plan, then we're going to install a theme and build out the website that way. So in this episode, as I mentioned, we're talking about hosting. Now there are services, again, service providers, companies such as even Ballen Brands, for example, that will offer website hosting. And usually what that's doing is that they're kind of managing this process for you. And in our case, we manage that for you. So not all hosting plans are created equal. There are different things to consider, such as your amount of bandwidth and also number of visitors, things like that. They're kind of complicated, but honestly, most of the time today, just about anything you're going to be offered is going to work out just great, and you'll be alerted if you're going over the resources there. So in this particular case, again, a company like ours can offer particular services. You can visit our website at ballenbrands.com and check out what we offer in addition to just the website hosting. We could also build in some maintenance, do some theme and plugin updates for you, things like that. But when you're doing it on your own and you are not intimidated to do so, then we recommend going to a service such as Flywheel. So Flywheel, for example, why we recommend a service like theirs is they are really tuned for WordPress websites. They're not just a hosting company, but they're a WordPress hosting company. And the reason why that's valuable is because WordPress has its own set of I'll say vulnerabilities, but some of the things that make it a positive platform, also make it a target sometimes. And the reason for that is because they are the most widely used website platform out there. So what I mean by that is that there are security features. There are third-party plugins that you can plug in and install into your website, which is fantastic. But in doing so, again, that also kind of opens up a lot of channels and things where sometimes plugins can disrupt your website and the performance. So these are all things that we'll look at as we move through. But my point to this is that we want to have a valuable hosting solution. It's not always just about how much, what the cheapest hosting is per month. Your support matters, your speed matters, your backups matter, things like that. So we look at a site such as Flywheel, and if I go to their pricing page, for example, you'll see there's different options where you can have kind of a basic, just a simple getting started website, and then we have a personal website here that has a little more monthly visits and things like that. Again, that we want that to grow, right? So that's the goal. And then of course you have the professional side if you're doing the full-on business and plan on getting a ton of traffic, which we all plan on that, but maybe that's something we grow into, or maybe that's something you already have. So we look at Flywheel as an option, and then we'll say, okay, let's just go ahead and get started with this middle plan here. So if you don't already have an account, then, which of course you're new, you wouldn't, then we'll go ahead and sign up for a new account. Let me do, okay, and let's do a different one here. So let's do okay, and then you can describe yourself. It kind of just likes to know, are you a single site owner or whatever. It's kind of more for their stats so they understand who they're helping and what we're doing, and then how you heard about us. And of course we can don't have a Ballen in there specifically, but of course you can type that in. All right, so then we create a password. So I'll go ahead and use okay, so I agree to terms of service. When you read the terms of service, it's going to say things like, you promise not to abuse the service. You're not going to use their hosting in order to spam other people. So definitely take a look at that. But for the purpose of our moving through this process, we just wanted to kind of show you what our options are here. So now once you're in, this is actually your control panel, and what it's directly asking you to do is go ahead and create a new WordPress site. So, we're the site owner. If you had multiple people in here, you could choose that. You give it a site name, best real estate website. Temporary domain, so they'll actually create one for you. And what this is before you point your domain over, the one that we've already purchased, we can actually set up just a temporary one. So we can create one if it'll let you. And we're going to create a new WordPress username and password. So this ultimately would be what you're going to log into your website once we've built it and you go in and create an admin. So we'll do bound test and then a password. Okay. All right, so are you going to pay now is the option. You can also do this as a way if you were to create multiple websites, you can actually get a bulk plan, things like that as well. But in this case, we're gonna just kind of move forward as it is. All right, so then it's asking me which one of the plans do I want to do. So let's say I choose this plan. And then how do you like to pay? I'm going to pay yearly or monthly. And then it has these add-ons. So these are options that you can add on. You don't have to add them on now. You could also add them on later. So if it's not something you're familiar with or comfortable with, then I would just suggest kind of leaving that alone right now. And there you go. So from here, I select my payment method, and I go ahead and pay. So that is actually all there is to it. We're basically just setting up an account and getting a hosting account established, and from there we'll of course move into the next steps and as far as installing themes and so forth. But that is it. We've registered a domain, we've now set up a hosting account, and we'll continue to move forward with this process. If you have any questions, by all means please reach out to us at team@ballenbrands.com.